hello there. Yippee-ki-yay. I don't even know when I said that. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay.
And I haven't even been smoking.
It's all good.
It must have been from the Golden Corral,
Yeah.
you know. You pick a ride the horse, you know, whatever.
It's okay, Norm.
Yeah.
Welcome.
There's the theme.
Welcome.
Theme for the day.
There you go. Today I'm excited. We have my friend Danger. How do you pronounce your last name?
Oh, I'm not allowed to pronounce my last name for legal reasons. It's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Tirone.
Huh?
It's Italian. It's Tirone.
Cerrone.
Tirone. Yeah.
Tirone, huh?
Everybody thinks it's Tyrone, but it's Tirone.
Cerrone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Another Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're Italian.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All my people that are coming on.
I just had spaghetti like 20 minutes ago.
Did you?
Yeah,
Homemade?
intravenous. Yeah.
Did you make your own pasta?
No.
And you didn't make your own
Of course I
noodles?
made my own pasta, but I was joking. I didn't have spaghetti 20 minutes.
Oh, well, aren't you supposed to?
Well, I didn't want to look heavy for the camera.
Oh.
I figured nature would take care of that.
Well, I got to give this guy credit. I asked him. I really put him on the spot the last time he was here.
It was a while ago.
And
Yeah.
it took him a long, long time to answer my question. And I asked right out how long I got, and I truly believe because of him giving me the warning sign, John, that
Yeah.
I went and got myself checked out,
Mm-hmm.
and I found that I had cancer. And I got it all. I no longer have it.
Yep.
And so I want to give you credit to that. Folks, listen
Thank
to him. If you want a reading by him, please, by all means, listen to what he's going to say. He doesn't have time to BS you.
I don't. I'm actually. I don't want to say that I speak the brutal truth, but a lot of referrals I get for readings are people that haven't listened in the past, or people that they go to other psychics and they just listen for what they want to hear, and when they don't hear it, they don't listen.
Right.
So I get a lot of those referrals, and Spirit usually makes me drop the hammer per se, and it's not. It's an uncomfortable thing, but if people need to hear it, you need to hear it.
That's like me. I don't believe in sugarcoating.
Yep. Yeah.
Because even though they don't want to admit it, they really need to hear the truth, like in relationships. Oh, does my boyfriend love me, or does my husband, or does my dog love me? Lady, if you don't know, or sir, if you don't know, then you have a problem.
Yeah.
The way I look at it. And my friend John
Buttruccio.
Buttruccio,
Yeah.
know what you do?
Yeah. So I'm a business coach, and I focus on leadership and professional etiquette, and I also do marketing coaching as well.
So,
Yeah.
so I got some pretty heavy-duty people here. And one of the things that I do know is that, you're also an auto body? Do I see pictures
Oh
of your
yeah, I do
cars?
all kinds of stuff with cars. I'm a big car fanatic. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Auto body's not my favorite. It's one of those it's one of those professions where you need to be very professional. You need to have you need to have focus. And to get in that zone sometimes for me is but yeah, once I'm in it, forget about it. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. But yeah, it's but I've been turning wrenches since I was old enough to turn a wrench. So yeah, definitely.
They all look the same to me.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's why they have people like you.
That's right. That's right.
I can remember I had a roommate that I had, and we had a flat tire in Concord, and I called them all the way up. They had to find a way up to change my tire. I didn't know how. Isn't that awful? But I wasn't going to get dirty either.
No, gosh, forbid.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
How's Travis doing?
Travis is good. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but yeah, the last time I was here, I think I was with Travis. I almost called him today. I didn't get around to it. Yeah, he's doing all right, doing his fire walks. He's having people have their awesome experiences.
He's in a relationship now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'll have to get him to come on again.
I don't know if the firewalk thing is kind of a little above my pay grade. I think I don't know if
I can't picture myself.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, people that have done it say that it's an awesome experience, things like that. I'm not quite convinced yet. So.
Me.
I'm not either.
We'll get there.
I've been
Have you ever
off
done
it.
it?
No, I've jumped out of an airplane,
Yep.
but I haven't. I just can't bring myself to walk on fire
Yeah.
yet. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, to me, that would be more dangerous.
You would think. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Hey.
Well,
Someday.
I used to love to go to the sweat lodges.
Yep.
I used to have it, but because of my blood pressure now, I can't do it and all this other stuff, and that's okay.
Yep.
Because I can imagine myself going through it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
If
Yeah.
anybody has any questions for John, myself, or Danger, give us a call at area code 603-640-3091. And your website is?
Readingsbyd.com. Yeah. Yeah, head on over there. There's plenty of information there if you need to know about what I do. I do readings. I do Reiki healing as well. So yeah, readingsbyd.com.
Do you believe that there are that many different type of Reiki energy? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's all the same.
It's not all the same. In my opinion,
Yeah.
There's so many different levels of vibrations of energy that to just say that it's all the same. Yeah, it is. It's all energy, but at the same token, it's kind of like I look at it as beams of light. Okay, so you have your normal light bulb, which
Right.
gives off an orange glow. You have these really bright studio lights that give off a really high intense glow. You have X-rays, which you can't see. You have laser light that will burn through you. Like there's all different parts. It's all light, but it's all different light. Same thing with energy.
You're the first one that ever answered my question that I wanted to have answered.
Okay.
Okay, because you're right. There are different sources. There are different energies, and I kind of do it the Buddha way.
Yep.
We all have our own techniques.
Absolutely.
I don't care. You can be, I'm not a psychic, or I'm not a healer, or I'm not this, but everybody can heal everybody, and they can heal themselves. When I went and had, just before I had my surgery done, one of my ladies came and did the energy around. When I was going to have the surgery, man, you could feel the heat drawing out of it. I also believe that part of the reasoning is I have my cell phone, and I used to catch a, really burn, and I really believe that the energy from the cell phone created a lot of the
Radiation.
That's where you put it?
It's a constant radiation. Absolutely, you're
Oh, my
absolutely.
gosh.
And I just kind of noticed that. I just had that little revelation myself. I always tend to carry my cell phone on my hip or in my pocket or whatever. And a lot of times I'll notice like, oh, why does this side of me hurt? Well, that's probably has something to do with it. So I have to make a conscious decision to switch it up and see if it makes a difference.
And when I stopped putting it in my pocket up here,
Yeah.
and one day you could really feel it up
Yeah.
there, I thought, and I'm going, whoa. So, do I believe that we avoid winning cancer, germs? Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. It's on how we control it.
Yep.
Do I see cigarette smoking, even though I'm not a smoker anymore? I do not believe that it's that it creates all of the cancer.
Nope.
Does it contribute to it? I'm sure it does.
Well,
Everything we do.
as you know, back to what we were talking about with energy, any physical ailment in the human body starts in the energetic field. Okay,
Right.
that's been taught for years. So undealt emotions, that's a low vibration. If we push those down in, we don't deal with them, all of a sudden, like one day we'll start to get a stomach ache or wherever that emotion was from. And if we don't deal with it long enough, it can manifest into things like cancer. Another thing, like you said, like the cell phone, like that's radiation. This is radiation. All this 5G, this is all radiation. And if you think about it, technology is great, don't get me wrong, but as far as nature goes, that's not conducive to nature.
No.
Animals aren't meant to carry cell phones. We're not meant to have all this radiation going through the air. Because without this, if we didn't have this, we would eventually learn to do it telepathically, which is a natural thing.
Right. I love doing telepathy.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever done telepathy?
I'm in the belief that we all have a little bit of it.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
not a lot of it, actually.
Yeah.
And the further away I drift from what society says I need it to be, the more I feel that. Is that right? And so, you mentioned the 5G and all that, right?
Yep.
So, in your knowledge of in energy, because it comes up a lot in
Yep.
my circle, do you think like Ford, there was started out with like 2G, then 3G,
Yeah.
which is just the generation?
It's just a frequency. It's just a faster moving frequency.
right.
From
And
what I
now this
understand.
5G.
Yep.
Worse than 4, you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to
Absolutely.
get worse and worse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've read many, many, many different articles on
Yeah.
how bad 5G is and this and that and the other thing, and who really knows for sure?
Yeah.
Because there's scientific studies, and you could take a scientific study by two opposing people, and they're going to give you different information.
Sure they are, yeah,
That's just
yeah.
how it is.
Right,
That's how
right.
the world is.
Right,
That's why people are going to argue for centuries over who says this and who says that.
Right.
But ultimately, I've read articles where 5G was used in like military grade weapons,
Yeah.
like they used it that. So who knows? Who really knows?
But to your point though, that regardless of how many G's, it's
Yeah.
still
It's still radiation.
Still, yeah, it's still
it's
coming
still
at us.
radiation. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Good
if you
point.
think about the radiation when you go for a chemo or radiation, and it's there to kill the cancer cell. So what the hell is it doing to our body?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well, isn't it like that? I really believe that because I was so used to carrying it that way. And it was just, and I was so blessed. And once again, you saved my life. You're a hero.
Thank you. I won't acknowledge that, but thank you. I'll say thank you. You were meant to know that information, otherwise I wouldn't have told it to you. So
it was hard for you. You know, but I wasn't going to say anything to you.
Yeah.
But you know what I know? When Spirit tells you to ask something, you damn well do.
That's right.
You know.
I always tell people when they ask questions like that, like, you don't really want to know the answer to that. Let's just move on and ask something else.
But see, one thing I have a lot of respect for you about is the fact that you tell it like I do. We tell it like it is. I don't believe in sugarcoating.
In some instances, I agree with you 80% on that. There's a 20%, and it usually comes through when I'm doing readings. My guides will have me deliver more gentle information, because some people can't handle the full on truth, and it would send them into either depression or a tizzy or whatever it is. So sometimes Spirit will say, "Listen, they need to know this information, but you know, give it." So it's not exactly sugarcoating, I guess.
I'll rephrase that. I agree with you. But we both, sometimes you have to be hard.
Oh, absolutely. When it has to be said, it has to be said. Yeah, absolutely.
So if the first time they don't hear it, the second time they don't hear it, but the third time they need to hear it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, don't bang the table.
That's right. He didn't pick it.
You're doing good, by the way, as far as not banging the table.
I gave him 2 today.
Oh, okay, good idea.
I got one out there too.
Fair enough.
No, you have to evaluate. And then how can they handle it? How can they do this? Am I 100% accurate on everything? No. Nor do I ever want to claim to be.
No.
And
I always say, if you go to an intuitive or a psychic or a medium and their claim is, you know, I'm 100% accurate, my advice is to either run or kindly direct yourself in the other direction. Because if somebody is that confident, or if the ego is so involved that they think they're 100% accurate, chances are you may get accurate information, but you're also going to get a healthy dose of what's going on with their ego in with your reading. So it's going to cloud it in some way, shape, or form.
And I've been there.
Listen, we've all been there. We've all been there.
A lot of times, and I'm sure with the work that you do, you're learning how to manifest it a different way than you did before, okay? Oh, I used to think, man, my ego was so big that it's amazing I could even fit through the door.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it had to come in behind you, kind of like a train.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And I can remember looking. And it was more me than the actual Spirit reading. Okay. And I can remember looking in the mirror at the old studio. And the mirrors, and I looked at, who the hell do you think you are?
That's correct.
Whoa, I didn't like that too well. But
so nobody sugarcoated it then, right?
No.
No, there was no sugar. No.
When I did we had the private party, you know, so I would not, because I was a superstar, I would not sit with the other readers, you know. And boy, and the Spirit said,
how'd that work out for you?
And didn't. The Spirit said, I could take this all away from you.
Yep. And it can, and it will, and it will. Yeah, absolutely.
So when I went back in, I was doing in between TV show and a break there, I walked in, and I said, I got something to say. They said, oh no,
here we go
again.
Yeah.
I said, I realize, and and to this day I will always say that, I realize that I'm not the star. But you're the star, and everybody out there are the star. I'm just a speaker.
You're the vessel. Tool. You're the telephone.
And when I learned to do that, then I learned to accept who I was. You know? And you know Lori.
I do.
Okay, she used to bring me down. Let me tell you.
She was actually, in many ways, good for you. She definitely grounded you.
Oh
in many, many different ways. Yeah.
You know, we didn't politically. We never agreed, and that's okay.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
But we did.
It always makes for an interesting conversation.
Not even out crying. So, but we felt that was not the place, you know, to do it. You know, because she had her views, I had my views.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be boring if we all had the same views?
I'll tell you what, it would definitely, wouldn't be the way it is.
No.
And views are funny because you can see it firsthand in just the way people think. Some people can see things in a certain way, and you can be in the same room watching the same thing, and you can see things a completely different way.
Sure.
And that is what a lot of people that get in these arguments, trying to make you see their way, they don't understand. It's like everybody's born with a different set of eyes. So we come to this planet, and you may have been raised in a house where this belief was this, so there's a little bit of that in you, and then you see this on TV, there's a little bit of that in you, so this kind of molds how you see things. And every single person on this planet has a different experience with that.
When I teach people how to work with their psychic ability, if I do a group setting, I always have them draw a tree.
Yep.
It's amazing, like you just said. It's amazing how many people can interpret that work.
Yep. Yeah, I use something similar. It's not the tree. That's a good one. I always say, imagine putting a dozen people in a kitchen with ingredients and say, make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, you're going to get a dozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Some people are going to put the bread down first. Some people are going to put the peanut butter on first. Some people are going to use a spoon. Some people are going to use a knife to spread it. It doesn't matter the order that it's assembled, but every single person in that room is going to do it differently.
Good point.
There's going to be similarities, but every single person is going to do it differently.
You still get a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, you still have the end result.
Yeah.
But there's always a different.
There.
Yep.
That's cool.
And I can remember I drew a tree.
Yep.
And it had a leaf, and everybody had a different. But the one thing they did all agree on was that one leaf that was on my tree was that I was a lonely, lost little boy.
Yep.
And and as a spiritualist like you and I, and like you because you're spiritualist when you're teaching, we are not the same as the other people.
No.
I would never accept, and you know what? And that's okay today. I don't care if they like me. I don't care.
That's right.
Just respect what I do.
That's all.
I'm not going to condemn you for it, or I don't want you to condemn me. And I have, I should have brought some of my coffees in. I've had a lot of people call me. Do you remember it happened 10 years ago, blah, 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 and they thank me for it. Or another lady I just got it on would tell me how she would never go out with this person or that person. She ended up marrying a mixed person and all that. Or another one, and this is, that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The validation's good. It's just it's for me. As long as validation's great, I love it. But it's more about knowing that I helped someone.
Right.
So validation, yes, that's great. But knowing that person was able to realize or improve their life or somehow make the vibrational switch a little bit higher, then that's where it is for me. That's where the goal is.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
I want to see them, when you teach their business, you teach them how to improve their business, right?
Well, and when it's in business, usually they're failing or they can't get to the next level.
Right.
Always start off with their leadership skills or professional skills. That's almost always a reason why their businesses are failing or not getting to the next level.
When you talk about their leadership, Phil, you talk about how they need to learn how to be a leader.
How to be a leader, but how they treat people.
Oh, I treat them like jerks.
Many,
You don't.
But but it's really important that if you're treating your employees poorly, that's poor leadership.
Yeah.
And if you have high employee turnover, it's usually because they're being treated like crap, right? Usually.
That was my older days when I used to be a supervisor, believe it or not. And then one of my friends recorded me on how I was. I go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's what ego does to you.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
You don't see how you're being.
No.
That's that.
So here's my challenge right there.
No, but you're exactly correct. There's a lot.
This is a great conversation.
It is,
don't you?
It's all
Seriously,
related.
employers do need to realize that. And I found a lot with small business, with like the big corporations, they have like training and seminars, and they do all the research, and they give all of the managers, listen, this is what we need to succeed. But in small business, when you're trying to make it on your own or small, if you don't have that, you need that outside source. You absolutely do. You're 100% correct with people. If you don't feel appreciated, why are you going to give your all? You're not going to go to your work and help your boss make a ton of money if you don't respect him. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's what happened to me. My staff wouldn't stay with me. Why? What am I?
Why? I'm a great guy. What do you mean?
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Well, then when I first started not get back into readings again after I got sober, ego, you need some.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? You need, but when
we
you get
have
blown,
one.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
when you
without
get-
it.
But I think, believe it or not, my TV show helped me to understand that I don't need to have a big old ego. You know, I can remember one of my friends, I spoke to them, and she said, you know, you have a golden sword in your back. And I'm there, oh, I don't feel it. You know what I mean?
No, it's right there.
Yeah. You know,
There it
being
is.
What
such-
do they mean by that?
In other words, my ego, I need, in order for me to get that golden sword was trying to get me to realize that the ego and it's going to stay on me until I get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
And when I learned how to be humble, and I met Scott, and I learned how to be humble, and my son and daughter-in-law, and the relationship that we have with my granddaughter, it's amazing. When I realized that, you know what, I'm not that big old ego guy, and it was all fake. And
Pretty scary, huh?
Doesn't
It-
life
it
doesn't
really-
life get simpler though when you
Oh,
drop it?
Oh, my God.
When you
yeah.
literally just don't care as long as you're being authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
Life becomes ridiculously simple.
yeah.
When you're not trying to impress people, when you really don't care what other people think, it goes kind of against what we're taught from birth. Like, you know, you need to get status quo and whatever. But it makes life so simple when you really truly don't worry about what other people think.
Right.
That took me a long time.
Of
to
course,
learn that,
of
you know.
course.
Of course, I'm only 35. You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, you know.
And we never truly overcome that because it's always being presented to
Yeah.
us. Always,
It
always,
is,
always.
yeah.
It's just if you can just kind of keep that mindset for the most part, then that's what life just becomes simple. It really does.
I got to tell you, after I had my surgery, I had 2 different types, and I got to tell you, and after I realized how much I had and I have had more energy than I've ever had. I go walking all the time. You read on Facebook. I put a new lawn in. My
Nice.
spirit helped me put it on. I bought that Scotch grass grow.
Yeah.
Woo, Lordy, I think I know I'm mowing the lawn.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And Scott does the flowers. We
Yeah.
have a project. We each work together.
That's good. That's
You
good.
know.
It's
Yeah.
good to get out and make contact with the earth.
yeah.
A lot of people don't realize this. You do, obviously, but from an energetic standpoint, skin to earth contact. If you were to Google earthing, there's like an earthing movie on YouTube, whatever. But skin to earth contact heals. Just putting your feet in the dirt for it's an instantaneous reaction. But if you stand there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes with your feet firmly planted in the dirt, you can do it before and after. Your blood pressure is going to drop. The inflammation in your body is going to slowly leave. They've actually done studies under a microscope. They took somebody's blood, and then they went outside, and that person sat on the earth for 20 minutes. And then they looked at that blood again. The before and after is amazing. Before, all the cells are just, jockeying for position. Afterwards, they're in a complete row. Like the cells just kind of like line up, and everybody's flowing perfect. It's kind of
The way they should be.
Yeah, the way they should be. Exactly.
I was told that I'm stupid me. I don't listen. You know what time? I thank you for reminding me about that because it is because your feet. That's why. But as a child, I never wore shoes.
Oh, of course. That's
Even if I had my way today.
And a lot of children.
Welcome to Norm's Community Corner.
Hi, Norm. This is Jody. What do you mean you don't smoke? Don't you smoke pot?
Well, yeah. What's that got to do with cigarette smoking?
That's smoking. All that smoke in your body.
It's okay. But it's a healing smoking.
No, that's no good for the lungs. Would you put them out on the chimney?
No. You know what? That's not true. My doctor gave me permission.
Well, that's no good for the health. I wouldn't do it.
Well, you don't have to. I am.
No,
I don't make.
I stay healthy by not smoking at all.
Well, good for you. Good for you. A lot of people don't smoke. Okay, I'm not encouraging anybody to, nor discouraging. It has to be up to the person and their choice. When I talk about smoking, I do not smoke cigarettes. Is what I talk about. I do not deny
It's too
that.
bad.
I don't deny that I smoke pot.
That's correct.
That's all the fat part of your body, and that's not healthy.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of things that are not healthy that go into our body. A lot of fat foods go in our bodies that are not healthy. Alcohol.
There's a lot of different types of radiation too.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
there
right.
is.
And that's what we were talking about with the
Microwaves,
the
cell
microwave.
phones. Oh yeah.
I don't eat anything that's been in a microwave.
No, it's
You're
better off
No,
not.
but don't you go for MRIs? Don't you go for radiation?
No, I don't go for radiation.
Don't you go for
no,
X-rays?
I go and I had radiation check me, and I also went for an MRI for the betterment of it. But that was because of doctor's approval. But no, and if I had no choice, no, and I will not do chemo and I will not do radiation. Nor will I get those flu
Radiation.
shots.
There's radiation in the sun. There's radiation everywhere you go.
Yep.
Farm equipment and everything else.
Absolutely. This world, and the sad part of this world is that this world atmosphere is very unhealthy. You got airplanes who are leaving all kinds of films from the exhaust system. You got the satellites that are sending down radiation to get your microwave, your TVs.
Oh, yeah,
I know all of
GPS.
them. Believe me, I studied them.
Uh-huh.
Well, you have a good day, okay?
I will. Thank you for watching. Thank you for calling any time. All right.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's the second person. You smoke.
I'm pretty sure the last time I was on, somebody called and said something along those lines too.
Yeah.
Willie Hassel says hello. I noticed in the comments
Oh,
of
yeah.
our Facebook
I got
Live.
I got to check out his book too because he's supposed to be coming on.
Nice.
You know.
Nice.
You know Willie?
I don't.
Oh, he's a great guy. He's a paranormal.
Okay.
He and another bunch of friends of mine who were on last week are both paranormal. Those I trust.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm a firm believer. Leave the spirits alone.
There are too many people out there that go on, ghost hunts
Ghost
and whatnot.
hunters and all that.
There are too many people out there with the wrong heart space, the wrong intention. They want to go there so they can get evidence, but they're also not afraid to upset the spirits to get that evidence. So I don't agree with that.
Well, for TV shows.
Yeah,
and
things
whatever.
like that. Yeah, I just it's one thing to go there and try and communicate. It's quite another to go there and harass.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
And that is harassment.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't harass.
And I
but
will
there
say,
are.
Willie is one
yeah,
of them that doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay, I have a lot of respect for him.
yeah, good.
I respect people who respect each other.
Well,
You know,
makes
and
sense.
like when Liz comes on a lot.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess there was a little tension between her and Travis, but I'm not getting into. That's between them two. It has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
You know, wouldn't it be boring though if we were all agreeing on everything? Like when this person, what's his name, Jody?
Yeah.
Jody.
Okay.
Yep.
It would be boring if he agreed with me and we agree. The one thing I will agree with in it is the radiation. You cannot breathe without it.
No, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
What kills me is when I see these people, they would only realize when they're in their car by themselves, they had their mask on, and they had air conditioning going. Are you breathing in that germ from there?
That's one thing. That's actually one thing I don't quite understand. Is like people either like on a motorcycle or in a convertible with the top down. That's the most fresh air. That's Mother Nature healing you. Okay, why do you want to block that out?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can't wrap
Oh,
my
I
head
miss
around.
my convertible. Oh,
Have you ever heard the term cognitive dissonance?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
cognitive dissonance?
Cognitive dissonance. Yes.
So what we're talking about, actually, some of our conversation is about cognitive
Yeah.
dissonance.
Yep.
The trees and the peanut butters and beliefs. So cognitive dissonance in simplest form is a person's belief or paradigm is so strong.
So the core belief. Yeah.
The core belief is so strong, no matter what is said to them, to the contrary, they'll either block it out
Yep.
or diss it or just not listen anymore.
Yeah.
It's so strong.
And
we see that.
We do. We see that. One thing that kind of just popped into my head when you were talking about that is I've seen some people that all of a sudden go full on religion and religion like full on. Yeah. But whatever you say to them, they just throw Bible quotes back at you because that's
their belief.
That's their belief. So yeah, it's like you can be presented like, hey, look at my new phone. It's black, and no, it's not. It's green. Like it doesn't matter what evidence you present. It's not going to change their mind. Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned with religion, that is the most discriminating, hate bias name, because they get upset. They teach you, oh, you can't marry because you're Catholic. You can't marry her because she's Protestant, or because and all in the name of religion. I'm sorry, I don't buy that stuff. Throw the religion away. Yeah. Be who you are.
So you understand what it is then, the cognitive dissonance?
Somewhat.
So let me ask you this.
My brain.
That would be like if he told me, hey, you're not psychic.
Oh.
I know that I am.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to believe anything he says to the contrary,
Right.
because
Oh, I
that's
see.
my
Okay.
core
Yeah.
belief. So he could come in with pages of evidence that proves that psychics don't exist and this and that and the other. But the bottom line is that's my core belief, and I'm not going to change that.
Right.
Yeah. You
So-
know, and it was interesting. A friend of mine, and you've met him, Gary Hopper.
Yes.
A friend of mine, and another couple other people actually came on, and they had to admit that Jesus Christ was a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, 'cause didn't he tell the world what was going to go on and all that? And
But I mean, other than what? So
the Son of God.
he had to
or
admit
whatever.
that.
Yeah. He actually read about it, and because if you think about it, Jesus Christ did make a lot of predictions, and he went to save our soul. So if you want
He
to
was
look
just
at
trying to spread the truth, but
That's
people
it.
wouldn't listen.
and that's it. And look what's happening today.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to belong to so many born again Christian churches and so many different, and they were all taught you can't do this, you can't do that, and if your child isn't born again Christian, you're going to turn your back on them. And that's religion in Christianity. I don't want it.
No, religion is not for everybody.
No.
It is a necessary evil, I will say
Yeah.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Some people need the structure, some people need the guidance, some people need that.
And they live by it.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. And that's great. But I agree with you, but different parts of different religions all resonate with me, and there is a piece of every religion that resonates. But I want to get back to the cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
what were you
me
talking
too.
about, John? What
Yeah.
were you talking? Why would you bring that up?
Well, so as an
their
example,
point,
when I read that quote many years ago.
Yeah.
And it keeps showing up, and I keep thinking this. So this keeps showing up for some reason. So I meditate twice a day,
Yep.
morning and night. And what I try to do in my meditation is to make sure I'm not stuck in cognitive dissonance.
Okay, perfect. I like that.
That my comments and my conversations that I have with people is to be the listener, first of all.
Right.
And that way I'm hearing every single thing that Danger is saying and that Norm is saying, and having no bias around it, or
Right.
just accepting that that's where you
It's very
are.
hard to do.
It's challenging.
very
but-
hard to do.
But with practice, though,
Exactly.
and in today's world, do we not? It's more important now today than ever for me.
It is. But that's how everybody sees the world.
It is.
That's how everybody sees. They'll hear something and
Yeah.
they'll say, "Nope, I don't believe that. That's
That's right.
BS." Like they
Yeah.
dismiss it without even entertaining it.
Right.
That's just that.
I had to learn that I needed. This is what was great about my show, because of people like you and like you, really. So I don't want. Put me in my place. Listen, we got something to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Where that way I try not to interrupt. I try not to, because I used to be blah blah blah. Blah. Oh no. I mean, so
You?
I had to literally.
I don't see that. No.
I'm a typical triple wheel.
Yeah.
With the boss.
The lion times 3. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Norm's a good listener.
Yeah.
But I
I
have
can
learned
tell.
how to become a good listener.
Yeah.
I've had to, and I had to learn, no matter what happened in my elementary days and school days, and the teachers making fun of me and stuff like that, I had to learn to let go of that.
Absolutely.
Just like you've had to let go of some of the things you had to go through and what you had to go through. And I do not believe that you cannot get through it if you want to.
You can get through anything that you want to. Yes. As far as letting go, sometimes it's very, very
Oh,
hard.
it took me
And some
60
people and some
years.
people can't let go, and that's understandable. But recognizing that you need to let go of it is sometimes all you need.
Yeah.
Recognizing that it is an issue or
Yeah.
it was an issue
Yeah.
and that it did bother you, just recognizing it sometimes is enough to help you push through.
I can remember, I think it was like 3-4 years ago, that I finally was able. I mean, I could tell you when I let go, when I was able to let go and not blame my dad for everything. I was able to say, "Dad, I love you," and it comes right from the heart, And actually, Angie Danger,
Yep.
okay, she's the one that helped me communicate with my dad.
Good.
And another one, she was another co-host of mine. at
Yeah,
one
she's
time.
good. She's good people.
But we have our own path,
Yeah.
and we all separate to different paths,
Yeah, yeah.
And when you learn to say, "I've got to let go," and I couldn't blame him because I put the beer in my hand.
Right.
I couldn't blame him because I got behind the wheel and drove. Luckily, I never got caught for DW.
Yeah, that is lucky because
I used to drive on the left-hand side of the road.
what?
Yeah, one guy that had window out this way, and I mean, which way we going, and One time we smoked a joint and drank a beer in front of the state prison. You know,
Oh.
so this is where you know that somebody guided me. There was a purpose in all that. Do I regret all the things I've done? No, because it teaches me. And it's like you and I'm sure your life wasn't perfect, you know, and everything you
Sure
had
she
to
was.
learn.
Yeah.
And like with you, we've all had to learn so that we can help other people, and they can't BS us. I've been there.
The best part about life not being perfect is that we get to learn from that. A lot of times when I'm doing readings, a lot of times when I'm trying to help people, Spirit will show me an instance from my past where I was in a very, very similar situation or that exact situation. And then they'll show me how I grew and how I learned and what I needed to learn. And I use that in the reading to say, oh, okay, this is the lesson. We need you to understand that this equals this and you don't do that. And a lot of times my guides will play over instances that I've encountered in my childhood or growing up in order to help other people. So in what I do, that's key. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think we need to have that. You know, do I forget it? Do I dwell on it anymore? Absolutely not. There are days I'll say, "Oh, poor me," and I'll say, "I can't believe where I am today. I can't believe I've never been in prison." Because I was a helter-skelter. I'm not going to lie. Come close to it a few times with the drinking and stuff like that. But everything there, you have to learn, and then you appreciate. I had to lose everything to gain everything.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, I'm not embarrassed to tell you I ate at the shelter. I didn't live there or anything, but I was very close. And they had good food there.
Of course they do.
I went in, they had sirloin steak. I can't afford that every day, can you?
Nope.
Or they have a nice meal. And I went, I could not believe how many people that were so unappreciative.
Yeah, they just weren't on the same wavelength.
No.
Yeah. You're
I
right.
always say to them, then go to Russia. See what they get there. Or go to a big city, see what they get there.
Yeah.
And I can remember this one lady came over to me. I was in line to get food because I was very, and she gave me a pair of moccasins. Everybody thought, it's just a pair of moccasins. But you know what? That changed my life around.
Good.
I really literally started crying because somebody gave me something.
Right. Right.
And I still have them,
Nice. That's cool.
and keep them as a souvenir.
And that's a pivotal moment. That's a pivotal, and that's a good memory to have. Yeah.
And I'm sure you must have some pretty dynamite stories that you could tell that changed you and made you feel better about you.
None are jumping out at me right now because it's all just one big learning lesson in my brain. It's just one big learning. Like every, there are things that happen on a daily basis that make me appreciate things. Like what happened today? Just today, somebody cut me off as I was driving, and normally the response is road rage. You get angry, I suppressed it and like, okay, whatever. And then as the person was turning in the other direction, they waved and said, "I'm sorry." So they didn't know that they were doing it.
Right.
And in the moment, I'm like, why did they do that?
Yeah,
I got really heated, and it's a good thing. I kept
Yeah.
my cool. But yeah, it's like you never know what other people are going through.
That's right.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
So in this instance, this person didn't mean to do it. They probably, were on the phone, who knows? But they didn't mean to do it. But you just don't know. Like that person that cuts you off in traffic, or that person that yells at you or whatever, they could have literally just gotten the worst news of their life.
Sure.
You just don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
So I just try to tell everybody, as we go through life, just take a deep breath before you react. Because you just don't know the circumstances around the situation. And when you're kind of a hothead and you react, knee-jerk reaction, which is human nature. But when you do that, a lot of times you don't have the whole story. You're just reacting. So yeah.
Well, that's like, I don't know how Scott honestly puts up with me, and not only a mood in my mind, there'll be things that are going on, and unfortunately, I don't think.
Of course.
And I start with this, and he's still patient. He just walks away. Well, you didn't cook what I wanted, so I'm not going to eat it or whatever. So what does he do? He brings it in, he sits down and gets what I end up eating it anyway.
Yep.
And I really, and I'll think, well, that's good, 'cause an incident like that, or well, I'm not going to take my pills, or I'm not going to blah 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 blah. He does it anyway. Goes ahead and he breaks it. The temptation.
Well,
of that
because he
food.
knows you.
Yeah. And when I had my cancer operation, he was so good. He made sure the bottle was strained and all that. So
I would
it
expect
doesn't
nothing
matter.
less from him, though.
No.
He's a good guy.
You sure? Nothing, I don't care whether you're male, female, or male, or female, or whatever. Love is unconditional.
Of course it is, yeah.
I don't like labels. I really don't.
Labels are just a reason to get people heated or get people to not to necessarily to argue with each other, but labels are created to put people in groups.
Right.
And
like
as kind of like what
Right.
I was saying before, every single person on this planet is a different individual.
Right.
There are no two alike. So to put a label on something is putting it in a group. Like, oh, you're the same as this.
Yeah.
Well, that's not.
Yeah. Creates division as
Yeah,
well.
it's not. That's not. It's like that's like saying we're all like in this group and we're all drones and we all do the exact same thing. That never happens with humans. Not a thing.
No. See, that's like I have some good friends, and I don't like it when she'll say, "Oh, he's my very gay friend," or "He's my very black friend." Throw the name away.
Yeah,
He's
it's
your friend.
Just labels.
We could really, at where we were today. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
folks, once again, we went to our
Fine,
favorite. Oh. Welcome to North Community Corner.
Hi, Norm. How are you?
I am doing fine. How are you, darling?
I'm good. It's Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. Haven't heard from you in a while.
I know. It's been a long time.
Yeah. So, what's happening? Did your son move out still?
One's gone. One's moved out.
Yeah.
He's actually living with his sister,
Uh-huh.
my daughter.
Yeah.
They're looking for a house, though.
They're going to get one very soon.
Oh, good.
I'm actually looking at,
Very
I'm going to have to, I'll have Danger Dan here, we'll have him also. What I'm looking at, it's going to be a fixer-upper house.
Not too much though.
No?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of minor
Yeah.
stuff.
Just cosmetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling lately?
I'm doing really good.
Okay. I don't see that you had the virus, right?
No.
No. Nor your husband?
No.
No. And you're not going to. One thing about you is you're really conscientious about what you eat and your health.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you still working?
I am.
You work out
But
of your...
I'm wondering if I'm changing.
Not for the next 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. You get pretty routine, and it's pretty hard for you to change.
There is
yes,
something new coming in though.
But
Yeah.
I'm on the fence because I was hoping to continue to work a couple of days from home.
Right. And they're not letting you?
No.
Okay. Well, I think what should be... if you were working from home, to be honest with you, I would be concerned about you becoming introverted.
I only wanted a couple of days.
Yeah.
I don't want full-time home.
Yeah. No, I actually see they're going to grant you that you're going to be able to do that a couple of days. It's going to take another month or maybe a month and a half.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to go back. You do have to go back for a short period of time, full time in the office or in the job, before. Don't rule it out. I kind of the way your brain is right now. It's like I'm feeling like you're at all or nothing. You're either gonna change completely, or because you really want to fight for this. But if this is definitely you need to realize that you do have to do a little bit of time back at the workplace before you can come back, because it almost comes to a head where you I don't want to say you speak up for yourself, but it's like you have to go back, and it's not as bad as you originally think it is, but then you get to the point where we're like, hey, you know what? I was doing really good at home. So it does come into play, but you do have to go back first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I am back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working full-time in the office.
Okay.
Right. And that's what for right now, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there was another person who
Right.
was complaining about it.
Right. The more, guess what? The more she complains, the harder it's going to be for her to accept it one way or the other. Okay. She may be leaving.
Yeah, there's a different energy with that person though. That they don't have your energy. You have really good energy. You usually have a pretty good positive outlook. But there's just something. What you have to realize is everybody, even though everybody has to be treated the same, everybody is treated slightly different. So when you get a chance to kind of like, no, I don't want to say on the down low, but if you can kind of slip it in there like, hey, I'd really, my schedule's really conducive if I could get a day or two at home. You just need to kind of drop that bomb. And I don't want to say sneak it in because other people get jealous if you get to go home and they don't, like things like that. But like you definitely need to speak your mind, but it's almost like a side note. You don't complain, don't make it known to everybody, but you do need to speak your mind.
And I think you're getting stronger at that. How's your hubby doing?
He's doing well. His company, they're a little stricter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the masking and,
Well, I think with the masking, they're going overboard, but that's up to the company themselves and the person, individual, But I actually see him getting a raise.
Oh, good.
Okay, and you're actually going to get a raise
He's
because.
going up a level. I know. I just got one.
Okay.
And I was very happy.
Good. Yeah, he's going up a higher level.
Oh, good. About time.
Yeah. They take advantage of him.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Mr. Nice Guy that don't say no because he's so worried about if he disagrees with him, he's afraid that he'll lose his job.
It's different than that, but yeah, you're right.
And I also will tell you, who's the lady that crossed over? Well, did your mother pass?
My mother did pass, yes.
Okay. Well, she told me to tell you how proud she is and what a great mother you were, or are.
Oh.
Okay. And
Thank you.
Yeah. I also will see you're moving.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't see it?
I don't see a physical move. No, I see where you could see that because of the energy, but yeah, I don't see a physical move.
Well, I don't mean it's going to be tomorrow. I mean, like maybe I'm looking more 5 years down the line. Okay. But I see you moving to a warmer climate.
I do. I like to do that for a week at a time. Move to a warmer climate,
No,
just for a week, and then come
that's
back
not
home.
happening.
Well, you don't have to. But I'm just saying you're going to have that opportunity because we can, our own self, change. I mean, I can tell you nothing is ever concrete. We can change it, make it better, or make it worse. Nothing that, like what Dee and I do, is never concrete. It's always you can change it.
Free will. Always about free will. Yeah.
Okay?
I like the winter.
All right, me
know,
too.
Crazy.
That's good.
Crazy.
Not a lot of people say that. I like that. Yeah.
I don't ski. I don't do, but I love the snow.
So you just love shoveling then? Nice. That's good.
Oh, I don't do that.
Well, I like the winters. I like watching them out there shoveling and plowing. I get tired though when I watch them doing all that heavy work. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Just watching.
And he has a wonderful cooked meal when he comes in.
Imagine that. And you have a wonderful cooked meal.
Yes, I do.
Good trade-off.
Yep. One thing about me is I'm very spoiled.
No.
No, I know people wouldn't know.
How dare you?
But I also will tell you one thing. I would not worry about my health because I do not see any major problems with it. Okay? I am a little concerned about your sugar level will go up, will go down, but I'm not so concerned with it. I'm more concerned with your husband's high blood pressure.
Something about your right ankle. I don't know why I'm feeling a little twitch in my right ankle right now. So just be careful if you're.
It must be me too.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the energy flow or if something's imminent. Just be careful of your right ankle, okay?
I do have a compression sock that I wear every once in a while
Okay.
because it does have a little tweak.
Okay.
She has arthritis.
Yeah. We were actually just talking about this. Get outside and put your feet in the dirt for 10, 20 minutes every chance you get.
Watching you.
All right. Yes.
And I've done that.
Okay. Good.
I've done that.
It helps the energy flow. It's a natural flow of energy. Yeah.
I'm going to remember that one because I've been told that. So when I go out and walk at my lawn and just admire my lawn, that must be why the Spirit put
Go put a chair out there and just sit there and put your feet right in it.
I'm going to.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Okay.
My husband always yells at me because I walk barefoot.
Why? Why does he yell at you? That's the most natural way.
That is.
Yep.
And I love walking in the grass
Yep.
barefoot.
Yeah, no, you love it because it's healing and it's good for the body. That's why you love it.
If I had my way, I would never wear shoes nor clothes.
All right, Norm, let's not get
But
crazy.
then people would run away.
Yeah, let's not get crazy.
You know, I believe that our body thinks in the natural healing, but especially I don't wear socks. I hate them. You know, unless my feet swell, and then I have to wear those pressure socks. You know, but like you said, I'm going to start doing that for more often.
Natural.
Well, thank you for your call, and give us a call more often, okay?
Hey, are we going to have any grandchildren more than what I have right now?
Wow, talk about putting me on the spot. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
When she said one grandson?
Yeah, she's asking if she's going to have more grandchildren.
2.
I heard 2 as well. Do you already have 2?
I have 1.
You have 1, so the total is 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So the answer to your question would be yes.
And a girl. And a granddaughter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boy and a girl, yeah. Yeah.
And you'll be able to spoil them.
good.
Yeah, there's an element of surprise around this one, though, so I don't know.
Might be twins.
No, I don't know if it's not one expected or from someone you didn't. I don't know. There's an element of surprise around this one, so they're not revealing it. It's kind of like shadowed in smoke, which is fun and not fun all at the same time.
Yeah. Now, don't question them. Don't give them the third degree. Let them come and tell you.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Good. And I also will tell you, I actually see one more thing in a strong rebuilding of your relationship with your children.
Good.
I know, I'm not saying there wasn't any, but I know it's going to become a lot stronger and you're going to feel a lot happier with it.
But
Good.
there's a lot of work being done. Yeah, there's a lot of work being done on the not on your end, on their end. I don't know which child we're talking about, but there's it's almost like they come to a realization that it's like things aren't always perfect. Things don't always have to be perfect, and they kind of like drop their guard a little bit, and this helps facilitate the repair. Yeah, I don't know. It's.
But it's going to be
My daughter?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's going to be a strong and beautiful. Once you learn to know everything is going to be okay on both sides, your side and their side, it's going to be a strong and beautiful relationship.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something.
One more thing.
There's
Yeah.
also an element.
To you guys.
Go ahead.
One more thing.
Yep.
My youngest. If he's going to find somebody,
He's not
Somebody
ready
to
to.
love.
I'm going to say no.
Well, I guess it's all relative with time. There's a little bit of
not
there's.
tomorrow,
No. I look at maybe 5 years.
later on.
I think it may be before 5 years, but yeah.
Well, I'm going to use a 5-year window.
Well, okay, so it all depends on which relationship you're talking about. Because yes, there is one 5 years, but there may be 1 or 2 before that.
Right.
Yeah.
But the more serious one's going to be within the next
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have to accept who she or he is and accept who your son has as a partner.
That I absolutely will.
All right. Okay. But in time, then he's not ready yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
I can accept that.
Okay, good. Give you a call in a couple more weeks or months and let me know how you're doing.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Norm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that's good. At least we know somebody's watching this show.
Yeah, right. We got 1 or 2 viewers.
Yeah,
now.
all right.
We may have
Hey,
more.
we're getting there.
I shared the Facebook Live. Maybe we have more now. Is that what I really look like? Okay, I don't want to know. All right. Never mind.
I read a book on grounding.
How
Yeah.
we doing?
It was
Scott?
really
We getting a lot
eye-opener.
of calls?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Checkups?
I realized that
Huh?
I did ground, but being a gardener,
Yeah. Of
hunting
course.
and fishing,
You're,
digging.
you're in the guard. Yeah.
But look how far away we are from being grounded naturally.
Well,
though.
that's
the
the
high-rise
thing.
buildings
That's the
and
thing.
steel.
People don't realize.
Don't
That's what
realize
happened
it.
with the animals.
Well,
So you go sinking your feet in the grass. It's
Well,
incredible.
think about Earth as in all its inhabitants. Okay, so we're just one species. We're the human
Yeah.
species. So every other mammal that we know, every other species, has 2 or 4 paws on the Earth at all times, pretty much. Birds, they roost in trees. The trees have roots. They're grounded. Whales, they're in the ocean,
Yeah.
which is in the ground.
Yeah.
So every other mammal on this planet, every other animal on this planet is grounded naturally. What do we got? We got rubber soles on our shoes and rubber tires on our cars, and we live in high-rise buildings far above the ground. Think about this, though. Animals don't have diabetes and cancer and all these other things. Those are human things. So I'm not saying they're directly related, but
Right.
you can't deny the fact
right.
that it's related.
Yeah. I believe that. it is.
I mean, another huge part of that is mental health and diet. Diet.
Diet.
Huge, it's huge.
That's huge.
All the other animals eat natural plants and they eat each other, whatever, but they're eating the most natural things.
Right. As close to the vine as possible.
Anything we go to the grocery store to get has been tainted with some kind of chemical or processed in some way. So, yeah, it's
We have a woodchuck that finally come back around again,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll set up on eat the apple. I never saw such a fat belly on, and it's all like and it eats the grass after I
you didn't
mow it.
shame him, right? You
No,
didn't
of
shame
course
him
not.
for the belly.
Oh
Okay,
no,
all
I
right.
should have, but I didn't.
All right.
No, I was actually jealous of it.
All right, fair enough.
But
Well, their bellies look bigger because their legs are only like that
yeah,
big.
they can move.
No,
But
they
we
have
had-
to.
Yeah.
Scott had one that used to crawl up into his lap.
Yeah.
And the guy who lived up over us, he said it was, no, across the street from us, and said it was okay to shoot him with a BB gun.
Oh, that's not nice.
Somehow those BB guns got taken away.
I don't know.
You know how those accidents happen.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You know.
I don't. It's weird.
Yeah.
I just
But
look at things.
now
really
they're
different.
coming back because our yard is now beautiful. Now I know why the spirit put that new grass in there, so to make sure I walk in that grass in bare feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
And this is for even years and years, even now, and lately in the last 2 years, I wore shoes and socks, but I never used to at all. I only to go to work. I grudgingly put your shoes on, you know, you grudgingly go to work and like that.
There was a thing I saw the other day on Facebook or whatever that said, "Take care of your health now, or you will be forced to deal with your illness later." So, go put your feet in the grass. Set an alarm in your smartphone. Go outside. Like, do this as often as you can, even if it's for like 2 minutes. Everybody can squeeze in 2 minutes just to ground yourself, just to take a minute. A lot of people don't realize when you ground yourself, all the busy now, like we have so many things going on. We have so many trains of thought going through our head. When you ground yourself, all those trains of thought, kind of like the blood, lines up. Now all of a sudden we have access and we can compartmentalize everything that we need to get done, and our focus increases. It's good on so many levels, not just health wise, but mental wise. It's just nature, I guess.
But yeah, I go to work. I go for my walks between 5 and 7 in the morning. Best time to go, as
Yep.
far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to take, like you said, 10 minutes to go out in the backyard. I'm always out there looking at
Yeah,
the grass
yeah.
and admiring God's work or the Spirit work. So I'm going to start doing that.
If you kick your shoes off and close your eyes and just feel the energetic exchange between your feet, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like that, a lot of people don't know what they're feeling because we're not used to feeling the energy. But if you do this and close your eyes and just focus, you will be able to feel what's going on. You'll be able to feel the energy flowing out of your feet.
Well, one of the things that I was taught was all the negative energy or good energy will go in through your navel and it will come out your feet.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, if it's going through your navel, then it's coming. If you think about it, you got your feet on, grounded on the earth, Mother Nature, and it's drawing all that negative energy out. Okay, so that makes a heck of a lot of sense. So by the way, Jordan, I went to Colorado.
Golden Corral.
And folks, if you haven't been there, shame on you. The cashiers are very friendly.
Yep.
Now, waitress Diamond.
Diamond.
And some of the other ones, they're all very, and the food is excellent. I go around, I bounce around all. Coach, can you picture me talking to everybody in there?
No, you wouldn't do such a thing.
No.
Yeah, I gave up on keeping track of him, so he'll be back.
That's right. That's right.
But I mean a lot. Oh my God, my heart went off. This one woman. Whew, all I could see around her was high blood pressure and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
She had this big old plate of food and over here and not that big of a lady. She like I don't know how. I'm there. Oh my God.
Well, maybe that was her one meal for the week, Norm.
Okay. Just every other day.
Yeah,
But all I could see was high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And my heart cried for her, because
A lot of people take comfort and solace in eating a lot of food.
Sure.
That's yeah. It's an emotion
you didn't
blocker.
eat as much as you usually do this time.
No, I be more conscious.
Nice.
Just because it's all you can eat doesn't mean you
Doesn't
can
mean
eat
you
all of
have
it.
to eat it all. That's right.
And
That's
it is
right.
tempting if it's good.
Of course.
But I know that it didn't serve me. I didn't feel right those last 2 times.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep, and so
Yeah.
that's all right.
You didn't have any dessert either.
No, I took it easy.
For those people that are trying to be health conscious, one thing that I found is every time you go to eat something, every time you go to put something in your body, just ask yourself this one question: is this good for me, or is this healthy? And if you do that with everything you eat, you're going to realize how quickly how not healthy you are.
Yeah, the answer's going to be no.
The answer's going to be no a lot, and then
Yeah.
and then from there you can
Yeah.
make the appropriate whatever. But just asking yourself that question,
Yeah.
a lot of people's like, well, I always struggle with
Yeah.
and a lot of people are like, I don't eat that much, but what are you putting in your
Yeah.
body? Are you drinking energy drinks?
Yeah.
Like I'm guilty. I drink coffee. Like I love coffee.
Yeah.
But the cream and sugar is not good for But if you ask yourself that question before you eat or drink anything, is this good for my body? You're gonna figure it out really quick what's going on.
Yeah, I love cherry vanilla ice cream.
Yep.
Okay, with that big old cherries and all that. Especially after I had a homemade cigarette, you know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I'll convince myself that Scott is really not going to get these small, because my diabetic technician said I could have it. So I'll say I'll convince myself that it's good for me, even though I know it's not.
Yeah.
And I'll go. Then I'll go on a guilt trip. Because I know it's not good for me.
Yeah.
But they say frozen yogurt is even worse.
It is.
Yeah,
Why, more sugar?
It depends, I guess. I guess
Isn't
it's all
anything-
about the processing, though. It's all about how it's made. I guess.
Isn't it sad that just about everything you eat today is not healthy, unless you have your own garden?
Unless you have your own garden,
Yeah.
that's the only way to avoid it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You know, I met a nutritionist, and I spent a couple years with her
Yeah.
as a client. I was her client.
Yeah.
And one thing that stays in my mind, even going to a Golden Corral with you, is allow yourself that cheat.
Oh, of course. Oh,
To
of
not
course.
deprive.
Of course.
And it's so easy to be on a good food diet,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that when I go out with Norm or some friends,
Yep.
I eat anything I want.
That's
that
right.
night. It's not going to kill me that
No.
night. And-
But the trick is, see, some people do that and then
Yeah.
they have guilt over it.
Sure. Oh,
So-
I don't have any guilt. Yeah.
The guilt is something that we need to. As long as you're not doing it on a regular basis, you can release the guilt.
Sure.
As long as that's the thing, the cheat thing. Like people well, I fell off the wagon, so screw it. I'm going to stay out. No,
Right.
no, just get right back on. Just get right back
Sure.
on. It's
Well, I look at my sugar levels. I'll do my blood test.
Yeah.
Scott will read it for me, and I'll say, "Oh, good, I can have this because my sugar level's okay." When it's not.
Yeah. A little justifying going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like when Scott made the most delicious chicken pot pie. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm eating a piece of it.
yeah.
Tell me that's not,
Oh, it's great for you. It's fine. Yeah.
What would be not good for you in a chicken pot pie? Is
The
it
timing. I mean,
the
it's just
time,
the
okay.
timing. Okay. I'm
Well, we
awake.
can't. We don't get into that because there's the butter and there's the,
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we don't want. Yeah,
Gravy and all that
It's
stuff,
delicious. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
as far as healthy goes,
Yeah.
What is it that's not healthy that we can eat? I mean, what is healthy? Organic food. Is there really such a thing in the soup? They advertise organic. I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
Well, see, to advertise as organic, from what I understand, and I may be wrong on this, but I was told to be able to put the organic label on things, it has to be 10%
Right.
organic.
Yeah.
So that's not even the majority of it. That's
10%.
10%.
Yeah, that's all they had to do.
So as long as
Oh
10%
my
of the
God.
crop that goes into this product is organic, then you can label it organic.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
Barbara.
this is why people don't know this. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't educated. Like, the food industry does whatever it wants.
Yeah.
Literally does
Yeah,
whatever
it
it
does,
wants,
yeah.
and we just eat it and like, okay, good, and then we wonder why there's disease. But yeah, it's the laws are a little weird about organic. Yeah. So the only way to truly eat organic, like you said, is if you have your own garden.
Yeah.
Really, that's the only way you know you grow it.
Make sure that if you get tomatoes or green peppers or whatever, make sure, even potatoes, make sure you wash them all thoroughly
yeah.
before you either peel them, call them up or not. Because this is, and a woman that
Do you use the dishwasher or the washing machine?
no,
when you wash your
no.
vegetables?
I put rubber gloves on and I scrub it with
Oh,
a
okay.
scrub brush.
All right.
I use ivory soap.
Ivory soap, yeah.
Yeah.
Do not use ivory soap
flavor.
when you're washing your vegetables.
I'm sorry, but somebody will probably
Do not
try
do that. I
No.
want everybody to know,
I
don't use, you
forgot all
don't
about
need
that.
soap, you just need warm water and a brush.
I'm thinking about the I used to say when Lori was on, how we used to tell kids should be hung upside down and beat on once a day. Boy, I got a lot of phone calls
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
you don't
know,
want to, yeah, no.
because they take it literally.
Promoting violence.
Actually, I think parents should be hung upside down at times. But, and that's a big thing that is going on because everything, instead of taking the time to make something homemade, it's so easy to run to the market and buy, like we said, a pot pie or buy, these pre-cooked Salisbury steaks and gravy, And I've done it before, but it's not as good.
Everybody's done it. Yeah, it's just how society is
Yeah,
wired.
yeah.
Everybody's so busy. Everybody's in the thick of things.
Yeah.
Where everybody's struggling, freaking out. Gas prices are up, food cost is up, so everybody's got to work more. So like, there's less time for personal care, and unfortunately, that's where it always falls on personal care.
Right.
Because you have to get everything else done, but you don't have to necessarily take care of yourself until you become sick.
Right.
Then you're forced to do it.
Trust me, and I know that from experience.
Yeah.
Because I always thought I was a great walk. I will never be sick. I'll never have. Then I end up starting with diabetes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Starting having these things, prostate problems, and then having the cancer because I did not. I thought I was invincible. I'll be honest
course,
with you, I really
of course.
did. Oh, God's going to take care of me. He didn't. They forgot to tell me that I have to take care of myself.
You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, all these bonbons and all these things that you can't have. Like I can't have bacon as much as I love it. I shouldn't eat sausages and all that stuff. So what I do is I cut it down to like 2 sausages and an egg or 2 bacon and egg, and I cut it way down. And if I eat potato, I don't eat bread. If I eat bread, you got to watch what you eat. It's all up to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you.
Yeah, and you have a heightened sense of urgency there,
Yeah.
having
Yep.
diabetes. So
Yeah,
now you have to watch it.
Right.
Well, that's just it. When you have to watch
Yeah,
it, it's
yeah.
a thing. If you can incorporate that before you have to watch it,
Which
then
I-
you're
yeah.
set for
So,
life. Yeah.
Folks, don't make the same mistake I made. Don't think that you're infallible. Because I did. I thought I could almost walk on water, you know what I mean? He's going to take care of me because I do this, I do that. But you know what? Surprise. I'm actually glad that I'm a diabetic. I'm actually glad that I had this cancer thing. And I'm actually glad I had to go through what I have because it made me do a reality check.
It's kind of a wake-up call.
Yeah?
it's
I
a-
call myself the one-breasted wonder.
There you go.
Because if you don't have a sense of humor, then you're going to be
sure.
told. And when I went into that hospital to have the surgery done, I went in with the most upbeat personality. And the people said, but you're going in for surgery. I said, I know, but I'm going to get better.
That's right. That you're going
They
in.
did
You're
ask
going
me-
in to keep you alive. You're
Right.
not going. It's not the end of the world.
They
right?
asked me
Yeah.
not to sing too loud.
Yeah. I can't say I disagree with them on that.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of people in those places.
And my doctor, I got to tell you, if you show your doctors respect, if you show the nurses respect, and the aides, they're going to respect you. It's all they do.
That's true with everybody, in every walks of life, and
Yeah.
everybody you meet. I do the same when I go to get a coffee. The person giving me my coffee, they get the utmost respect because I know what it's like to work for a living.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you can tweak a smile out of somebody, you know, you may have just made their day. You don't know that. You don't know what's going on. Like I said earlier.
That's like when I go walking in the morning. I'll meet people and say, "Hi, good morning. How are you?" No respond back, or they don't, or whatever. And I got to say, I have never seen so many fathers that are taking and spending time with their children as I have the last 2 or 3 years. And it's such a blessing to watch them do that. Despite this, I don't agree with the virus that's going on, but it should have brought families closer together. Unfortunately, they get more into the computer games and video.
Yes and no. See, that's going to happen on any level. But yeah, it definitely brought families together. We're not going to see that. That's not what they show us. They show us all the bad side of everything. That's part of the deal. But you need to know that it did bring families closer together. Some families a little too close. Some people but
get out of my hair.
Yeah. but there's being forced to spend that time is always a good thing, because you get to know someone just a little bit more, and you just get it's good all around. Now, if you're in a situation with a bad person, someone who's not so nice, then that's not a good situation to be in.
Well, then you
either.
poke him in the eye.
Well, yeah.
No, folks, don't do that. I'm only kidding, folks.
Because
one kid did that to his mother.
Barista,
yeah.
Right. So we're creating space for them to enter.
Of course.
You let it be know it's okay to talk to me.
Right. Exactly.
So like today at the restaurant, right? Is how many people would not have engaged unless we'd started something.
The majority of them wouldn't have.
And they were thrilled. They just lit up, right?
They had this one guy come in. He had I don't know, a pig blue or whatever. But he had, I love my dog or something like that.
I love to work real hard so that my dog can have a better life or something.
Nice things. Yeah.
And I went talking to him. He smiled, didn't he?
He was lit up.
And I didn't look at his color. I didn't look at anything. All I did was look at the spiritual level. When you have to look at someone's skin color, that's the wrong thing to be looking at. Because there are bad elements in black, white, blue, green, or yellow. If you look at the spiritual energy.
Of course. The bottom line is just be a good person.
That's
it doesn't matter. We're all in this together.
We're all be good now.
Yeah, no. Just be a good person. I can't. I bartend a couple nights a week, and I can't tell you how many people having a stressful day, whatever the excuse is, they sit down at my bar and I say, "Hey, how's it going?" You would think that's like a normal, like, "Hey, how's it going?" I get a lot of, "I'll have a beer." Well, then I kind of like pull out the jokes and I say, "Okay, but you got to answer the question first." And they look at me and say, "What question?" So that's how much they're in their head. So I can kind of like snap them out of it. I'm like, "Hey, I literally said, 'How's it going?' And you barked an order at me. Do you see what just happened?" And then, so it is. You definitely need to create space to open that line. Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what I love. Like, there was this one man, he's homeless. And I'll tell you, I never had so much respect for a man as I did him. He's sitting there, and he has a smile. He made me feel so great and grateful for what I had. He says, "Don't cry for me." He said, "I chose to be this way."
That's correct.
And he had the most beautiful, energetic smile. I said, "Wow. Could I buy you a car?" He says, "No, I'm quite happy." He says he has a tent, and he does not want to live in a house. That's his choice.
Good.
And he gave me more energy of, wow, I got so much to be grateful for. I have a home. I have food. I'm not alone. I have my kitty cat, and I have my son and my daughter and my family and millions of friends. I had to get better from my surgery. So many well wishes that I had no choice but to get better,
Oh, there's always a choice, Norm.
Well,
always a choice.
Everything is,
But I could have stayed on the pity.
Right.
But with all the encouragement, my choice was, I'm going to prove them right, and I am going to get better. And I haven't had. They gave me narcotics, so in case I had pain, I threw the narcotics away.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I don't even like to. I don't even like to take aspirin unless it's.
I've stopped taking them.
I don't. Yeah.
A week ago, I stopped taking Advil. Because it wasn't doing anything for me.
Well, it's just another. It's funny. I mean, it may help your headache, absolutely, but it's another substance in the body that the liver has to take care of.
That's right.
So you're actually, I mean, effectively the symptoms go away. When in reality, a headache, you drink one of these and it goes away. It's almost the same thing. And this is healthy.
Yeah.
But people
That's
don't want
probably
to
why
wait.
you have a
They
headache.
don't want to wait for this to kick in. They just so.
Point.
But back to the point when I was going to say that there's always a choice. No.
Yeah.
I want everybody out that's watching this to know this, because there's a lot of people I encounter that don't realize this. Every day you wake up, there's going to be things that happen in your day, in your morning. You may stub your toe. You may come out to a flat tire, or you may be running late, things like that. You have a choice. You can let that bother you. You can let it ruin your day. You can let it ruin your week, and you can let it ruin your month. A month from now, you can say, yeah, well, I stubbed my toe a month ago. Or you can choose to let it roll off and move on with your day. It is truly all about choice. Yes. So we all know the people in life that are like, oh, life is tough, life stinks, nothing ever good happens to me. We know those people, okay? If you were to Google the law of attraction, you would understand why their lives are like that, because they're putting that energy out to the universe, and the universe gives us that energy back. It's a mirror. Yes. So if we're always putting out, oh, life stinks, guess what? The universe goes, oh, life stinks, here you go, life stinks. But if you walk around trying to be happy, trying to let things roll off, and realizing that life isn't all that bad. If you people kind of like joke with me. Sometimes I'm a little cocky because they ask me how I'm doing, and I say the view seldom changes when you're on top. And I know that sounds like whatever, but it's just that mindset that, listen, I'm on top of the world, and when the universe sees that, it gives me more happy vibes, and that's it. So when that kind of triggered me when you said I had no choice, because
in my mind, the choice was I had to get better.
But that's it. You made the choice. You made the choice. That's right. Yeah.
I'm a person that I know who has become a citizen. I give him a lot. One of my ex-boys. I tried to count all my boyfriends. I lost count.
There's only 8 of them, though. Knock it off.
2 of them becoming ministers.
Oh, all right.
And I go, okay, I guess I must have been holier than I thought I was, But
you drove him to religion.
Yeah. But here's the person that had that surgery. I feel bad that he had surgery. I said, well, you just said, but do you want to get better?
Right.
Do you want to preach the word of God? Or you want to sit on the pot, preach the word of God, but still be in a lot of pain? The choice is yours, And I'm a firm believer in that, and I love that we have choices. It took me a lot of years, 60 years, to say, you know what? I have the right to be better. I have the right to make right choices. I don't, because once I let that, I was allowing the negative energy to win. And that's my choice.
Oh, that negative energy is strong. If you don't recognize that it's there, it a lot of times it'll win.
Yeah. I know, and a lot of people think that negative energy is normal.
Correct.
They don't see it one way or the other.
Correct.
Like, this is the way it is, and the way my life is, and that's why I give these to all my clients.
Yeah,
I like that. It's a reminder.
I like that.
When they feel stress is a choice, I would say, because it's an energy.
It is. You good?
And this is the reminder that this is where all that minutia is.
Yeah, it is.
And this is where our peace is.
Yeah.
That's why I give them out. It's only $1 a piece. And
it is.
That's a really good reminder. I've got them all over my house. And
clarity, focus. Absolutely. Yeah. It truly is a choice.
Yeah. So how long have you been reading?
I've been doing readings professionally for around 7 years now. I'd have to look at the date.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when did you discover that?
That part of me has always been there. And the funny thing was, for many years, the first 20-something years of my life, I just kind of buried it and didn't think anything of it, didn't really use it. And then around the year 2000, give or take, my spirit guides have had enough of me just not living what I needed to live.
Nice.
And they kind of kicked me in the butt, and then I started meditating and doing research and learning as much as I could, and here I am. Yeah. It's just one of those things, like, I've always kind of been able to pull thoughts out of people's head, things like that. Yeah. Just the small things, but it was never anything special to me. Yeah. Like, it was natural. So I just remember one day, either grade school, high school, whatever it was, when I had finished someone's sentence or pulled a thought out of their head, and they kind of like were taken back, and well, how did you do that? And I go, what do you mean? I do that all the time. That's not normal. And I'm like, well, okay. So long story short, like that was the point I kind of realized that, okay, maybe not everybody could do that.
Right.
But again, I didn't do anything with it until the spirit kind of just,
Nice.
all right, yeah.
So you noticed that when you were younger?
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking is a lot of times I'll meet people like yourself and Norm. I spend a lot of time with Norm here. That something usually happens.
Yeah.
There's a life event or something,
Yep.
and all of a sudden it's like these layers of resistance are gone.
Right. Exactly.
And then boom, there's this.
A lot of people
spiritual
take it takes that energetic shock with a lot of people to activate it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It was more subtle with me.
Yeah,
It was more subtle with me. But yeah.
Cool. That's nice. That's very, very cool to think that as a kid
Yeah.
that you recognize that.
Yeah. I mean, I know fellow intuitives who didn't label themselves as intuitive, and then one day during childhood, they saw a UFO out the window. And then the next thing they know, like they're face to face with an unknown creature for a second, and then all of a sudden now they're getting visions, and like so they had an encounter. So then that's what woke them up. And then other people naturally have had it since birth and didn't really, it was just part of life. So there's many different things to the spectrum. One person I know actually, a family member passed and showed up in their living room like a week later, and that's how they opened up per se. So yeah, it definitely comes in different.
Is there a connection, the intuitive, and being a reader to read?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's.
So there's a connection there, you think?
You can you can be intuitive and not read all day long. Like I did that for a long time.
Sure.
But I think. To be a reader, you have to have the connection with people on an energetic level to be highly effective. Anybody who's intuitive can kind of tap in and maybe do readings, but if you don't have that actual connection with the person you're reading, a lot of it kind of just gets lost.
Right.
I guess.
I find that too. Like a lot of times, I don't need the cards.
Yeah.
But I think people feel more comfortable if they see you sitting down reading the cards, and stuff like that. I think for some reason they need that. But anyway, but folks, I want to clear something up. This guy called because I said I don't smoke. Okay, just to be absolute clear, no, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. I don't smoke pipe, only pot. But yes, when I talk about smoking, I'm not talking about how I smoke pot. I am talking about cigarette smoking. I am talking about all this other stuff, So, and when I say I don't smoke, then this is what I mean, okay? And I have to thank Matt Connerton for hypnotizing me right here.
Oh, yeah?
8 years ago.
Wow. Did it on the air, huh?
Huh?
He did it on the air for
Yeah.
you? Wow.
Oh, my God, I look like a fat baby whale. I didn't realize how tempting I was. And people were so polite to me. They didn't want to hurt my feelings, But I love who I am today. I lost 55 pounds.
Nice.
They said I got to get more than that. And I know it's because I wouldn't take care of myself.
That's like a pound a year, right?
Yeah.
Of your whole life?
Yeah.
That's
But,
one way of looking at it, yeah.
anybody, if you want to stop smoking, if you want to give up alcohol, you can do it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
It's just another decision, kind of
Yeah.
like the decision to be happy.
Yeah.
It also ties into when I said you want to be healthy. Before you put this in your body, ask if it's good for you.
Yeah.
That's also part of it. If people are trying to if you really want to stop smoking cigarettes, and you don't have money for hypnosis or whatever, a good tool is every time you go to light that thing, have a realization: is this good for me?
Yeah.
If you have that realization, it's not going to magically make you stop, but you're going to think about it every time, and it's going
conscious
to
effort
it's going to work
Well, my
itself
son
out.
hypnotized himself from cigarette smoking in 1993.
Yeah, Yep.
And he hadn't had a cigarette since then. Okay,
Yep.
and
I did a cold turkey. One day, I had smoked for about a dozen years, and just one day, I just found out a loved one had developed cancer, and something snapped in my brain, and that was it. And it was the hardest thing I've done. The 29 years I've been on this planet.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
No.
Well, I've only been on
That was like an
35.
addiction, right?
That was
it,
the hardest
yeah.
thing to date.
Well, you're only
Yeah.
35 too, right?
Yeah, we'll go with it. 35.
33. Yeah.
All right, nice.
Well, what is age? Isn't age only a number? You can feel as
Yeah,
young
I
as
think
you want to feel, or you can feel as old as you want to feel. When Lori and I were sitting here, we had this lady, And, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that on a phone call. I said,
And that's
well,
correct.
try dancing. Oh, I'm too old to go dancing. I said, how old are you? She says, 55. I probably hurt her feelings because I started laughing.
Yep.
And to this day, when there's nobody around, I'll try to do my all day of dancing, but my hips just don't move anymore, you know.
No, but
still
that
dance.
truly is a case of mind over matter.
Yeah,
if
it
you
is.
say you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I know someone, this happened many, many years ago, and this was a coworker of mine, but his car was broken down or whatever. And I had said to him, I said, well, you know, you always buy these cheap junk, you drive them and then they're junk, and why don't you save up for a bit and get a... And his answer was, and clear as day, kind of like one of these pivotal moments, he said, I'm never going to be able to have anything nice. That's just not how it is. And my guides literally like shot a message through my head.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's all I heard. That is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
And that is why, because you don't believe
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Whatever you
you
say.
have already made up the
Yeah.
made your mind
Yeah.
up that you're never going to have
Yeah.
anything nice, and that's how it's going to be.
Well, there's this woman I know. She's been to several, what do they call it? PTS, that post-traumatic.
Post-traumatic
yeah,
stress. Yeah.
That's okay. She's been to several classes on
Yeah.
it and all that stuff, but she will not allow herself to let go.
Well, yeah.
And I told him one day, I said, I don't want to hear this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I said, I'm tired of you telling me. We know what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of it. If you don't want to improve your life, then I can't help you.
You do.
And
You
that's
do.
just right.
On a certain level, have to make the decision that you're ready.
Hmm.
And some people,
They're never ready.
let me just say this: it's okay if you're not ready, and you don't even want to take care of that in this lifetime. It's okay, because part of how the universe works, or how I've been shown from my guides, is we're all here to experience things. Okay, so we, believe it or not, we put these experiences in our path because we need to grow spiritually. So you know, some people that have gotten abused as children, I know that's horrible to think, but they actually signed up for that.
I made that choice.
It's in the soul contract.
Yeah.
So, but what a lot of people don't realize is some people can learn 40 lessons in one lifetime.
Yeah.
Other people take 40 lifetimes to do the one lesson.
Listen.
And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It
Right.
doesn't mean that they're a slow learner. It's just that's where their soul's at. So we all know people that struggle with things their entire life. Some people struggle with addiction their entire life, and they never beat it. It's just one of the lifetimes on that lesson. So it's not good. It's not bad. Everybody deserves equal love. Like that's just the way it is. So to judge those people, you're kind of like lowering your vibration. You know.
I refuse.
Yeah.
I refuse. Because I'll tell everybody. That's like with the readers. Like with you, or when I'm not any better than you
That's
are.
right. That's right.
And when I'm not any worse than you are. We all have, and like with him, what he's teaching, we all have our personal level that we're on. And the only thing I don't like is when someone who took all these classes online, and been for 8 months and been doing reading, all of a sudden she's a teacher.
Yeah.
And I'll look at her and say, boy, you got a lesson to learn.
Yeah, they do.
And I think that you've had to go through, we all
Of
had to
course,
go
yeah.
through it, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's what life is all about. And when I think, and I never will, I've learned it all, I've actually learned nothing.
That's correct. I knew it all when I was younger.
No,
And I
didn't
forgot
you?
it. Yeah.
I knew how to fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, you brought up a good point there about the post-traumatic stress. Right?
Yeah.
So when I discovered that was something that was that
Oh, it's
perhaps we
real.
all have some of it, you know.
Yeah.
And I started seeing people differently, understanding that that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a radio show. I'm not going to mention any names. Okay. And this woman called up and said, I have PTSD.
Yeah.
And the host is a, what do they call, some kind of a therapist.
Okay.
If there's a name, I forget.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to mention it because it
No.
could just give it away.
Right.
Yeah.
But she reamed that woman out and said, you are not PTSD. That is saved for our armed forces.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, that it just destroyed my my whole thought process.
Yeah.
I said, how could she say that?
She just negated the woman's feelings, literally, and that caused more damage. Just that one
That
comment
damage.
caused
It
more
could've,
damage than
'cause
anything.
It damaged me a
Yeah.
little bit because I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting through my stuff,
Yeah.
and all of my clients are going through their stuff, And to hear that coming from world-renowned
Someone
person,
who's supposed to be a helper.
supposed to be a helper, 2 minutes into the phone call,
Yeah.
rip them apart.
Yeah.
And I get it that of all people we should really take care of is veterans.
Of course.
And people who are coming back with parts blown off.
Absolutely.
And they have PTSD. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that nobody else can have that.
Right. That's
thought was kind
that's
of-
over the edge.
It is over the edge.
That's over the edge. Yeah.
So but it did bring it more. I'm grateful I heard her say that actually, because
Yeah.
it made me more emboldened to help people
Yeah.
and help myself and
Exactly.
understand that that's part of our makeup.
I mean, if someone's calling in for help or
Yeah.
for guidance, and to
Yeah.
just negate them like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like you should have the plug pulled. Like
Yeah.
you have a lot of
Yeah.
work to do yourself
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point. You know.
Yeah.
I think he used a big word, mitigate. I think he used a big word there.
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, well something you didn't understand.
It happens.
Well,
But
one of the
anyway,
big
yeah.
words, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just
But-
came out, so
Yeah.
it was, I
But
don't know where that
anyways,
came
one
from.
of the, and I agree with you because I could probably actually say I had it, but I didn't allow it to defeat me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also believe that we all have some sort of learning disability. Okay.
Oh, everybody learns different.
Yeah,
And
I can't drive a nail in straight.
Yeah.
I can't paint. I got fired from 2 jobs, painting jobs in a house, you know, and trying to drive a nail in straight too, you know. Everybody has something that they they can accomplish if they want to try. I refuse to change a tire. I probably could have, but you know, but everybody had. It would be so boring if we all had the same type of,
course.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's why I got rid of the disorder part of it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just post-traumatic stress.
Stress.
So we're calling it stress
Right.
because of trauma,
Right.
Yeah.
and the post is just
After the fact.
yeah.
Yeah.
So trauma in and of itself, anybody can be traumatized.
Everybody-
getting in a car accident. can be
Everybody I've known has
Yeah.
experienced trauma
Yeah.
on some level.
Somewhere,
We did. That's not the human experience to not experience
Yeah,
trauma
yeah.
on some level.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so it just shows up later on in life, perhaps. And
yeah.
You know, and I think actually when they're using that label, post-traumatic stress, or ADD or ADA,
It's a label,
or
yeah.
whatever, it's a label, and it makes the pharmaceutical company more money because the doctors are going to say, "Oh, you need this or you need
Oh,
that."
the
or you
drugs,
need-
yeah.
Yeah.
the drug.
Yeah.
So they're going to be. I know a woman who was on Xanax, not Xanax, but another one. you
Yeah.
know.
Either way,
Yeah,
one of them.
Yeah, and for 45 years,
Yeah.
and if she tried to.
oh my God.
Yeah.
a
A lifetime.
Yeah, and.
Talk about
I
not
looked
being
at
able
her.
to have a normal thought process.
Right. And they gave her a no-name brand, same kind of medicine.
Yeah.
But because it wasn't the brand name, I can't, you know, and I said to her, I said, how long
that's a
have you
dependency.
been taking this medication?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because, that's like I just got off and take an Advil because my body was becoming immune, and it wasn't doing me any good anyway, you know. But how long? Our bodies, and like people that are on heroin, I cry because there was a friend of mine's father's been on heroin for like the last 40 years
Yeah.
or more. I cry because if he gets off it, his body is going to be so in tune with the heroin, I don't believe he could survive.
Yeah. It happens.
The whole lifetime of being on that. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
Well, you know, that woman that served us today, I won't mention her name because
yeah.
she might be here someday. But remember her saying that my ADD's kicking in?
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
her saying that?
Yeah.
And I said, well, how do you know you have that?
Right.
And she goes, well, because she decided made an excuse. I said, you probably don't. You got to be careful because whatever we say, we are.
Right. Of course.
And whatever reality ADD means to somebody,
Right.
we can become it, right?
Oh, of course.
And she appreciated it a lot,
Yeah.
didn't she? She just
Oh, yeah.
engaged right away and understood how important her language was. And,
And
We-
some people are just wired that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be labeled as
Yeah.
ADD. So you have
Yeah.
attention to detail, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it
yeah.
is what
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people have this squirrel.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have that.
yeah.
So I'll revert back. Go ground yourself.
yeah.
Right. You know.
Yeah. But I could see her.
dropped a plate at the, on another plate, and I went. Talk about not paying attention to
You
what the
dropped
hell
a
you're
plate?
doing. Yes, I did a no.
Today?
Yeah, you didn't hear it. Oh, I let out.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah. Oh my God. And then one lady beside me, she jumped to it. And I go, oh my God. I hollered out, without thinking. I went over and I apologized. She said, no, you were more nervous than I was.
Oh,
And
boy.
here's a lady that I would say that was slim, and what she had, like I said, her plate was so full, and I really cried. But it's not up to me to judge her, and I never
No,
will.
especially there.
Yeah.
All you can eat.
All you can eat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when I used to go to the Manchester buffet, you could always tell when it was lunchtime.
Yep.
And but we can heal ourselves if we want to. That's what I like about Jody, Dr. Jody McDonald. I love it. I got to get her back on again. And that fire walk, I don't think I'm quite ready to do that yet. But I respect him and the people that do it.
It's very healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's many modalities of healing. I go down the YouTube rabbit hole every now and again, and you hear stories about people going into the jungle and doing ayahuasca, which is hallucinogenic. And there was one story in particular that really stuck out to me. There was a gentleman, and I'll probably mess this up, but there was a gentleman who was a really bad guy. Okay, he was successful, had a bunch of money, but he was a womanizer and he used a lot of drugs and things like that. So whatever this was, he's like, oh, well, ayahuasca, let's go do some drugs. So he went into the jungle and he had this with a shaman and the whole 9 yards. And he did this spiritual thing. And what happened was he had such a crazy trip on the drugs that he describes it. He says, all of a sudden, he goes, I was face to face with the moon. And the moon was talking to me. And he said, the moon reached into my chest and pulled out my heart and showed me that my heart was black. Ooh. So the shaman is there, and the guy's telling the shaman what's going on, and the shaman's like, well, ask the moon to clean your heart for you. So the moon cleaned the heart for him and put it back in him, and the second he put the heart back in him, it turned black again. And the shaman's like, okay, so ask the moon if he can give you a new heart. Now, obviously, this is all symbolism. He's not really taking that. So the moon gave the guy a new heart and put it in, and it didn't turn black, and it was good. So long story short, at the end of all this, the guy goes home, and he is such a different person, full of love, and that his own son didn't recognize him. He went to meet his son for lunch. Now he didn't change his appearance at all, but he just had such a different energy that when he walked and sat at the table, the kid did a double take, like, who the heck is this guy? And he has since opened up his own retreat and wants to help people heal. But he had such a profound experience with this ayahuasca in the jungle that it literally changed him. There are so many modalities of healing out there that people can use. Don't ever think that you're stuck and you can't heal. Don't ever think that your life has to stay the way it is. You can change your life at any moment. Yeah.
I can remember when I was at school way back when, and I was at on an Indian reservation in Arizona.
Yep.
And they gave me I went on a mountain with a medicine chief.
And peyote trip?
Peyote. Oh, let me tell you what, it was the most beautiful. Because they told me, you have a bad one, that means that you're not having what you think you're.
Right.
I had the most beautiful, amazing trip, and the guy, and I'm not going to recommend this to anybody. No. This is my own personal experience.
I could never do any psychedelics. I don't think I'm built for that.
But I don't recommend it. That's like a lot of people can't do marijuana.
No.
A lot of people can't drink marijuana. But he anointed me as a medicine man.
Yeah.
And I am also believe I'm a messenger from Nostradamus. He has said, and if you follow the reason, that man is going to destroy man. I always say the animals are not wild. It's the man that's wild.
Oh, the humans are unfortunately the parasite of the planet. Unfortunately, every other mammal works in harmonious, they're all work in harmony, and we just come take, destroy.
Yeah, we're breaking.
Yeah, we're just.
And they can't understand why the bears are coming out into the people's houses.
We're just.
Or why the deers on the main street. Because they're a selfish thing. One thing I need to, what I feel that needs to happen is, you gotta stop re-electing the people in office and start refocusing on what is best for you and this country and the world. Okay, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're a Republican, or I don't care if you're a green man from Mars or whatever. It must be proof
Mars
of
blew up years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Another planet that was succumbed to war. They fought with each other so much that they destroyed their own planet.
Do I believe?
Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, right. But do I believe there are aliens
makes
out
sense.
there? Yeah, absolutely.
What happened?
By the looks of it.
Yeah. That's
Do
what
I believe
happened.
there are aliens out there? Absolutely. What's
That's
it say?
that's a funny thing. I just want to say my two piece on this. How can one dismiss the fact and say there's no such thing as aliens when if you actually take a look at any piece of galaxy of science, that we're just this little teeny little speck.
Yeah.
Like a speck on a speck on a speck
Yeah.
of a speck.
Yeah.
To think that we're the only ones with
Yeah,
any
yeah.
intelligence
It's
is
ridiculous,
just so
yeah.
close-minded to
Yeah,
me. I
it is.
can't wrap my head around
It
it.
is ridiculous.
I actually went to Derry, New Hampshire. Okay, I was visiting a friend of mine.
Yep.
Boy, that's a middle of nowhere town.
Derry, New Hampshire. All right. Yeah.
But they had this he said there was a station, and I believe him, because they had, you and I could never draw a perfect circle. Okay.
I
Guess
can.
what?
I would just trace the microphone
Oh,
stand.
okay.
Yeah.
But they had like these three arms there,
Yeah.
all in perfect formation.
Yeah.
And all that. And I said, who am I to say he's wrong?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen
it's his
people that
story.
I swear were aliens from another
Hmm.
planet.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't smoking, I wasn't drinking.
No.
You know, Derry is nicknamed Space Town.
Really?
Do you know that?
I did
So
not
was it
hear
Alan
that.
Shepard? I think
Oh, yeah.
he's
that's right.
from Derry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right.
get that nickname.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
back in my history days.
Yeah.
Alan Shepard. I got it. Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I learned something today. Everything's
Yeah.
good now.
The only way I found that I was a member of a gun club
Yep.
in Raymond, and we were hosting the Spacetown Beagle Club. And I thought
Okay.
it was kind of a joke, you know.
Yeah,
and
Spacetown,
So I got
yeah.
to sit down with him a little bit, and I said, "So where'd the name come from?" And that's how I found out.
Oh.
It wasn't through history or
That's funny.
reading a NASA book.
Actually, he came to my high school, and I was so excited to think he came to the high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then that famous skier, what was her name? Penny Zimmerman.
Okay.
Okay, she won all kinds of medals and all that. Came to the high school. They said, we're not going to let you meet her because we don't want to be embarrassed by who you are and what you look like. And you know what she did? She came into the room. If I get emotional, I apologize. And gave me a hug.
Good.
Wow.
Good. That's
Boy,
good.
used to see the people, they looked at me, how dare her to do that and all that.
That was very nice. That was very nice
Wow.
of her.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Her husband was a multi-millionaire. He owned Pike's Industry. But for her to take that extra step,
Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
That's
and
awesome.
she gave me a T-shirt.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. See, it's those moments. It's those moments that you just got to
That'll
try.
change you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all these people were looking at me, one of the snobby ones. And,
Yeah.
I said, I got one, did you get one? So then I became a jerk.
Well, then ego kicked in. But yeah, no, that's. Yeah.
But, you remember little, and
Of
I remember a
course.
school nurse that, because kids used to make fun of me all the time because of this one school nurse, she will always be my hero. She took the time to me to get my eyes examined.
Yep.
She took the time for me to make a point to have plastic surgery done.
Yep.
And to have all this other stuff done. And because of her inspiration, when I decided I wanted to become, helpful like a male nurse.
Nice.
You remember, of course, I remember all the bad things I did.
Well, yeah.
You remember when people like that, and another school teacher that I had, no, I'm going to take that, cafeteria worker.
Yep.
I would sit by myself because I wouldn't sit with anybody else because they didn't want me. She would always give me extra food
Well, yeah.
because she knew that when I got home there would be nothing. You remember things like that.
Of course. Of
You know?
course.
So
It's those people. It's those people that make the journey. It's those people that make life what it is. Like if there's no glimmer of hope, then that's
she told me that I didn't have to kill myself.
Yep. Yep.
And I looked at her.
The booze will do it for you.
Yeah. But I think I was like 13 and thought about it.
Yeah.
She said, you don't have to kill yourself. Don't let these people win.
That's right. That's right.
I go, wow.
Besides, fast forward now. I mean, if you did end up taking your own life, you just have to come right back in
Oh,
for that
yeah,
soul
I don't want to do that
contract.
anymore. I've had my time.
Yeah. Come right back in and experience it all over again.
And
Just
I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
But I always felt comfort, and I think I knew I was always spiritual as a child. You probably did too, right? And you?
I didn't see it. I ignored it.
Yeah.
I was afraid of it.
Everybody
Yeah.
ignores it.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
And
I knew I had a talent, but I didn't know what it was.
Yep.
And to this day, there's so many. I mean, I could overrun my life with all the bad things, but I prefer to remember all the good positive things.
Of course.
Like with you, I'm sure there are things that you don't want to remember, and we don't need to.
That's right.
When I write my book, it's going to be probably on a rotten. Actually, I used to write books, and it used to be raw, nasty, filthy books. I made money off it. The filthier the book was, the more money I made. And I said, wait a minute, this isn't who I am. And I was doing well with it. But I had to come to a term. This isn't who I am.
You're dating yourself, Nobody. There's no such thing as books anymore. It's all.
No, that's true. That's why I don't do it anymore. But I am in the middle of writing my autobiography.
Nice.
And realizing that everybody out there, please listen to this. And I think, if you have a choice, like we talked about. If you want to sit on the pity pot and feel sorry for yourself, that's your choice. I know one lady called me up and told me there's no such thing as a pity pot because she looked at the dictionary, and I said, okay.
All right.
But if you want to sit there and feel sorry for yourself, you can. However, if you want to get better, I'm not going to tell you, and I don't think you will. It's not going to happen overnight.
Nope.
And I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. One lady yelled at me for feeling sorry for myself when I was getting sober. She had AIDS.
Yeah.
And she said to me, who the hell do you think you are? I go, well, I'm poor. No, I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow.
That's right.
She said, another one, I have so many heroes that I look at. And heaven forbid, she is still kicking and going, And I will always remember that.
Yeah. Oh,
Get us out of our
absolutely.
victim mode.
Huh?
It gets us out of our victim
I've
mode.
never been a victim, even though I thought I was.
Victim mode is a very strong, is a very hard place to get out of.
It's comfortable. And
It's comfortable. It's easy,
Yeah.
and it's a low vibration, and it's not always easy to get out of.
Oh, no.
But it's one of those things that everybody experiences. Everybody experiences the pity party, the victim mode once in a while, but it's making the decision to snap out of it. That's the key.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to pour. I mean, that's why if I went to the gay bar, if I went to a state bar, I never felt comfortable with them. Then I go home, well, that's okay. Pour me, no. And I said, wait a minute. I had to. My son gave me an ultimatum. Either get sober or not see my son and daughter-in-law anymore.
wow.
Yeah.
And
It's a rude awakening.
when they were tired of coming to the hospital and seeing me, stupidity. And that was the best lesson that I had. That's like when I would have never gone, even though I would have never gone to have a checkup if I hadn't been my son and daughter-in-law. You're going, and that's true love.
Of course it is.
Yeah, they told you the truth.
Yeah,
This is a truth pill we were talking about earlier.
yeah. Well, please don't hate your sister, don't hate your brothers, don't hate your mom and dad. Be grateful for that. They gave you life, and like you said, we knew what our path was going to be when we came.
We
here.
did. Everybody needs to know that whatever you're going through in life, you probably signed up for that. And you probably, when you were planning out your life, before you came down to earth to incarnate, you, believe it or not, put almost everything in your path. What the crazy part is, there's a veil. We don't remember any of that. And then here we are, we're born. Now there's free will introduced. So now we get to decide what we want to do and what we don't want to do. And we put it all on our spirit guides because we have spirit guides to kind of keep us on our path. So if we choose to go on a completely different path, now our spirit guides got to work a little harder to get us back to where we need. So, but that's usually where I get my information from, the spirit guides.
Well, I have three Scottish spiritual guides, Dr. McCluskey, Dr. McAllister, and Dr. McIntyre.
Yeah.
One's a minister and two are doctors. And remember this, you chose your parents before you got here.
And I always blow people's minds. Like, you actually chose your name too.
Yeah.
Well, how do you mean? What do you mean? Where do you think the idea for your name comes from? It just pops in. A lot of people say, well, the name just kind of popped in when you were born. Like a lot of that it's all part of the psychic energy. It's all part of the energy. But I would have to say 90% of you have chosen your own names.
If you dispute us, call and tell us. We don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm broad-minded. I can take that negative energy as well as I'm good.
Yeah.
Just don't hit my beautiful face or call me names. That's
There
all
you
I
go.
ask.
There you go.
But if you agree with us, that's cool. John, you would tell them one more time who you are and what you have. And
Yes,
how they get
I'm John Buttruccio, and my company is Success Paradigm. I'm a business coach, and most of my business is leadership and professional development.
Nice.
I do that as a training, and I do some marketing as well.
Do you have a website?
I do successparadigminc.com. It's brand new, still being tweaked. So I'm excited that
Good.
there's a little reinventing going on here.
Good. Good. Yeah.
And you have a phone number?
603-244-2318.
Okay. And
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
oh, my pleasure.
And my website is readingsbyd.com. I'm a psychic. I do Reiki healings. I just generally like to help people. Sometimes people just need a little reassurance. Everybody has the feeling like you know what's right, you know what you should be doing, but everybody needs. It's good to have a little reassurance. So readingsbyd.com.
Mine at spiritualvisionary.net. And good thing is on the show there.
Yeah, right on the bottom there. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And my email is secondvisions@norm@comcast.net. I'm also on Facebook. You're on Facebook?
Yep.
And you're on Facebook?
I am.
We're on
Okay,
Facebook.
so-
I posted this. We're streaming this.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
then we are too. But the one thing is that, folks, and anybody that has a desire, like I just talked to those gentlemen, they're all excited about talking about coming on my
Yes.
show.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd like
good.
to come back. Yeah.
So I love doing. This is why I took away the psychic, because it is a community corner.
Of course.
It is for. I've been nice about today about not slamming politicians.
Yeah.
I've been very good about that.
I may or
You've
may
been
not.
very good, yeah.
I may or may not have put a mental block up about politics today before I came.
Oh, you probably did.
Maybe.
That's-
There's a
and then
slight-
we might talk about it.
We might, yeah.
Yeah.
It
You know.
didn't.
Yeah.
This was a good
So
conversation.
many other
I think
interesting
we've had
things
really-
to talk
There are,
about.
there are.
I think it's been a great show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would like
Thank
to
you.
have you two both come back on and continue
course,
with what
sure.
we're doing.
Absolutely.
And that's, like I said, we do spiritual, and I enjoy doing spiritual.
Yep.
I love the challenges, and I love, but I also like to have an open mind where we can discuss like what we've been discussing. Folks, you can change your life if you want to. You can make it better, or you can make it worse, and follow through what Mr. D says here. Take and walk bare feet
That's
in
right.
the grass.
Right. Earth yourselves.
Earth,
Google
yeah.
it. Google it. Earthing. It's just called earthing. There's many videos on YouTube about it.
Sure.
So many good benefits. Everybody needs to get out there and connect to Mother Earth.
And if you need a good lunch, go to Golden Corral.
Golden
We get
Corral.
treated with a lot of respect.
Cheaper than
We're
the
not
subs.
sponsored by Golden
Want more
Corral, but
food.
No, we're not.
No, we just had a good experience there.
Yeah.
that's all.
Well, we talked about the good experiences we had.
Everywhere we go.
There we go.
If it's good, we say it. And
Oh yeah. If
it's not good, we don't say
that
nothing.
close. The only time Dave and I know you know Dave, okay, Mrs. Fred, he and I went to the Applebee's,
Yeah.
and because I won my Make Great America hat again.
Oh yeah. Make America Great. Yeah.
I could not believe they would it, but they did not want to.
Yep.
Okay, I went to another restaurant called Tucker's. I had Trump, no.
Yeah.
They really do hold that against
Oh, of
the
course.
person.
Of course. Yeah.
My quick prediction I'm going to have you two is we are going to get better, but we got to get worse to rebuild our country again.
So we say embrace ourselves.
Now, I want to encourage everybody to brace themselves for the worst. What do you say?
I agree and somewhat disagree. It is going to get a little bit worse. They are, I don't know how to say this without sounding crazy. They are going to try and keep us scared and keep us down and
Right.
keep us believing.
Right.
All the bad things are going to, they're not. Everybody's waking up at an alarming rate now. You know, it's one of those things when you force everybody to be scared, they actually start doing their own research and realizing what's really going on. So yes, we are going to get better. Everybody's waking up.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming together and realizing that maybe we turn off the 5 o'clock news because they don't
right.
have anything nice to say. I'm just saying.
Now, I don't watch it because of that.
There's too
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole,
No,
but you know.
And I also, and they've been all over Facebook because of other people, that the shot that you get, if you put a magnet to it, it will draw on the magnet.
Oh, there's all kinds of those. Yeah.
And there's
yeah.
a thing, if you
All
have a
kinds.
black light, it will shine up on it too. So it's your body, folks. I personally do not believe in having that shot, but that's my choice. And the sad part is, you cannot travel unless you have a choice, unless you have the shot. If you want to fly anywhere, you got to have the shots for it. Then that's forcing you to do something that gets you real belief. You
That's
can't
correct.
even use the religion as a...
Right. It all goes down to, are we really free? That's
yeah.
all. That's all.
You brought up a good point there about free will.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we do have that, and we own that. So as a sovereign earthling, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
And
We
just,
do. It's our choice.
ignore it all. And
Yeah.
Yeah. We do. We do
You
have
know,
free will.
It is all my last word is, everybody out there, remember this. Every day, you want a winner. Make
right.
that choice to be one.
There you go.
I like
Thank you
that.
for
I like
coming
it.
on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank
As
you for
always.
coming on.
It's always a
Yeah.
pleasure. Yeah.
We always have fun, don't we?
We always have a good time.
Yeah. So we'll see you all next week.
All right.
So.